Hey y'all, happy Friday. Not sure if we're live yet, not sure if my audio is good, if y'all can hear me. It's been a long time. Your girl's been gone for a minute, but we back. So I'm gonna let some of y'all come in. I'm gonna work my controls back here. It's your girl, Credit Solutionist, Victoria Langford, owner of PX Credit Solutions. Happy International Women's Day to all of y'all that are in the chat. Give your girl a minute. You gotta get set up. As you're coming in, don't forget to like the stream. What's popping, y'all? I see 3, 2, 4. Our numbers are fluctuating. Let me know if you hear. Give us a 1 in the chat. It's going to be a long one. I'm also going to give you guys an opportunity to come up and talk to me and dispute anything that you hear on this live stream tonight, because I think it's going to surprise some of y'all. Hey, I recognize those faces. All right, y'all. I see you coming in. Happy Friday, y'all. Grab your glass of wine, grab some ice water, do what you got to do. The Credit Solutionist is back. It's been a rough, interesting, crazy few months, y'all. We're not going to talk about that tonight, though. I'm going to go ahead and jump into this wage disparity stuff. But before we do that, I'm going to try some different stuff here. I got a little intro that I'm going to try to play. See how this goes. And if you're drinking wine, let me know what you're drinking. I tried a Malbec last night for the first time. It was so good, y'all. So good. All right, give your girl a second here, y'all. It's a little rusty. I ain't seen y'all since summer 2023 up in here. All right, give me a second. What we got? Hey, Farida. I see you, girl. It's been a minute. All right, give me a second, y'all, for real. Be patient. And y'all know I don't be knowing how to turn off this music. All right, we're going to do our little intro for the Credit Solutionists. All right, y'all, I'm back for real. I'm good. Let me go ahead and play this little thing. Y'all are kind of getting to watch me do some stuff and work out some kinks here. So it's been a minute. Hang on, y'all. I'm gonna get you this little intro. It's only gonna be like 2 seconds, but I want to test it out and see if it works. Let me know. That was it, y'all. That was like literally it. All right, so I see it works. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it together. We're gonna get it popping later on. But if you are new here, you guys come through, like the video, all that good stuff. We about to get into wage disparities in the Black community. We're gonna talk about whether Black women make more than Black men. We're gonna talk about the truth. I came with some numbers, y'all. So if you are down to have this discussion, I will put the link in the chat a little bit, maybe like midway through the discussion. I really just want to get my information out so I can give you all something to like chew on, and you can think about it before you respond. Think about it before you come up on camera and talk to me. And also, I want to make sure that when we have this discussion that we are going to use facts. I'm totally open to being corrected on what I'm talking about tonight if you have the information, all right? But you cannot come up speaking and shooting from the hip. We don't do that on the Credit Solutionist channel. It's going to be a new day, y'all. New day. But how's everybody doing in Q1 of 2024? Are you starting, the goals and dreams that you had in mind? Have you done all the things that you wanted to do? Let's talk about it, right? Chat and do what you got to do. But here we go. We about to get this live stream started, y'all. It's going to get deep. Grab a pen and paper. going on, guys? Credit Solutionist here from mycreditcall.com. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. But I'm back, you guys, and I'm coming to you on International Women's Day to give some cheers and some jeers because, y'all, I got to come and disparage some of the rumors that have been running amok in these YouTube streets about how much we're really making as women of color and where we truly stand economically. If you are new to the channel, welcome. And if you are returning, you already know what to do. Come on in, take off your shoes, and let me know what you're drinking, because you know I got you. I wanted to also celebrate a tremendous milestone on this channel. I have finally reached 10,000 subscribers, you guys. It has been a long time coming, and y'all, your girl is stoked. So as of yesterday, March 7th, 2024, the Credit Solutionist channel has reached 10,000 subscribers. Y'all, I have you to thank for that, and that is why I decided to go live tonight. Now, it's been such a long time because life is lifing, and in honor of International Women's Day, I'm going to tell you guys, when you're grinding in your regular everyday life, YouTube is the last thing on your mind. We're about becoming, in the words of my girl Cherie over at Black Women Making Money, upwardly mobile Black women, right? Now, my financial advice is for everyone, male, female, no matter what race, color, age, I don't care, because everybody deserves to have a successful and fruitful financial future. But today, I'm going to focus on women and women of color, particularly Black. Now, you might not like me by the time we finish this live stream, but I have to come with the truth because I wouldn't be the Credit Solutionist if I didn't do that. I wanted to talk about where we are really as Black women versus what we're being told on the internet or in our women circles, because I do think that the best way for us to become upwardly mobile Black women and really be able to have a fighting chance for our future is to understand where we truly stand and maybe unpack why it is that we're in these particular situations, right? And I also want us to be in a place where we don't fall victim to pandering that happens, or we're not victim to marketing, right? Because honestly speaking, when I start comparing apples to apples and apples to oranges and start looking at, numbers and statistics, y'all, I'm not sure we're doing as well as the media would have us believe. I want you to back up a little bit and come back to this live stream, all right? So enough about the intro. Come on in. Go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel so we can keep on growing this community and we can bring you the real. So tonight, I want to be very honest with y'all. So I'm talking to my Black girls tonight, all right? We'll get back to everybody else another time. So I wanted to talk about this in light of the recent, media stories. We have our girl Risa Tisa and that debacle. We also have, the story of our beautiful sister Wendy Williams, who is going through it right now, and it seems like she's getting no support, only folks that want to exploit her. Feel how you want about it. She's a human, and I don't believe that type of behavior should be revered, and I don't think we should be cheering those people on. In addition to that, we've seen stories of even people like Oprah, make a misstep, everybody just, wants to come down on you. I think part of this is a lesson for a lot of us Black women that, no matter where we are in society and how rich we are, number one, none of us is immune to criticism. And then number two, no matter how successful we get, any of us can be put right back into a financial hardship, like our girl Wendy, okay? It can happen to anybody. So to avoid some of this, I think it's very important to keep our eyes open and then also understand where we truly stand. So where are we really as Black women as a whole, right? Like, is there really Black girl magic? Does that really exist? Are we really making more than our counterpart, the Black man? Maybe so, but after we go over the numbers, you may think a little bit differently. Are we making strides towards becoming more financially stable? Well, that's debatable. We are the most educated group, for sure. However, with that comes the burden of debt. You see what I mean? So we can have education, we can have wonderful jobs, but there are still these other bricks that are behind us, or these hurdles that we still have to go backwards and address as upwardly mobile Black women. So we can't talk about one side of the argument of making more money without identifying and observing the other side, which is, but we're still in a financial hole. So I was doing some reading today because I was really curious about the wage gap. And everyone knows that there's probably no one on the planet that makes as much as an Anglo-Saxon white man. We know that. So everybody and their mom is trying to compete with this person, right? But I noticed as I was looking at wage gaps, from race to race, gender versus gender, gender within specific races, what I noticed is that the majority of the articles I read only covered Black women's annual wages versus white men's annual wages. That is the head turner. That's what gets people to click on the links. But because I'm part of the Black community, I would be remiss if I didn't try to look a little further in and say, what does the wage earning look like amongst Black men versus Black women? Because I know that I've tuned into tons of live streams and I've read tons of articles that are really just blogs, if we're being honest. They're not educational websites, but they all tout that Black women make more than Black men. There's only one other content creator on this YouTube that I've ever heard disparage that, and that's Diamond Dave. And when the first time that I heard Diamond Dave say this, I had to go and look myself, because I said, wait a minute now, I don't know if that's true, because I was told that I'm making more than the brothers out here. So wait, what's really good? So what did I do? I went ahead and I pulled the numbers, you guys, and I'm going to go ahead and read off some interesting statistics for you. Now, we're not going to debate this because this is from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. Okay. So I went ahead and I looked at their fourth quarter earnings for quarter 4, 2023. Okay. Now I'm going to try to see if I can get some stuff pulled up on the screen here, but for now, I'm just going to read it to you and maybe put a link in the description so you can go look at these numbers. But I think some of this is going to shock you. And it's also going to make you take a look at your life and at some of your choices and tighten up a little bit. So, among the race and ethnic groups, the median earnings of Hispanics who worked full time is about $884. And that's lower than Black people as a whole, which is $967 weekly. So we are, as a group, winning over one group, and that's the Hispanics. Now, I think I'm going to come back to that and tell you why that doesn't matter and why they're still winning. Okay. Now, amongst whites, they make a combined total of $1,157 per week. And then Asians make about $1,528. So I may have to take back what I said about the whites, because the Asians are making quite a bit of money right now. So got to keep an eye on them as well. Now, the median earnings for Hispanic men, this is just the men, $923, which is 74.3% of the wages that white men make, if you compare those numbers. Now, Black women, I want to talk about this really quick. So the area, or the median earnings for Black women are about $936, which is only 89.6% of white women and what they take home, which is $1,045. We're not making as much as white women, y'all. This is crazy. Hispanic women only make $810. So again, Black women are still winning, but Asian women are actually making about $1,356. So I know that was a lot of numbers that I threw out at you guys, but here's the point. The media will have you believe that you are competing against a white man for better wages, when the truth of the matter is you are competing against Black men, white men, and Asian men. That's what's really happening here. Okay. So the only way that a lot of us are going to be able to become upwardly mobile and strive for something is to know exactly who you're competing against. If you only believe that you have one opponent on this side, who's the one of the biggest and the baddest ones in the whole group, you're going to be very discouraged from the beginning. The other thing that's going to happen is that you'll be working alongside someone that is maybe a female, but is not the same ethnic makeup as you. And you think that you and her are equal, but you're not. She's making more than you are, but you're both fighting what you think is the same fight. When technically, you should be striving to actually out-earn her, not the male in her ethnic group. I hope that's making sense. I think that a lot of the issue we have that is stopping some of us from becoming upwardly mobile is because we're really not identifying who we are supposed to actually be, running past in this race. I hope I'm saying that correctly. So for purposes of what I'm talking about today, and it is International Women's Day, I'm going to skip the age stuff because I think that that's a very sensitive topic. And we all know that really the only older people that are making tons of money are the ones that were probably already in their given industry before any of us were actually born. I'm an older millennial, by the way, just so you guys know. So what I'm going to do here, I'm actually looking at the report here. And I wanted to talk about some interesting statistics about median weekly earnings amongst full-time and part-time workers. Because when they tell us as Black women that we earn more than Black men, it's only a half truth. And I'm going to kind of break down what that is right now. So when we go into the U.S. weekly earnings for full-time and salary workers. So full-time and then full-time salary, okay? So fixed income is salary, and then the full-time it could fluctuate because you might have some overtime, but you still have a base salary, right? When it comes to Black men versus Black women, in the fourth quarter of 2023, Black men, their average weekly earnings were $951. That's in current dollars as we speak right now, okay? Black women, full-time and full-time salary workers, made an average of $856 per week. So if you multiply that by 52, I'm sorry, guys, the Black guys are going to take the cake. They made more than us, ladies, and it is what it is, okay? Now, here's an interesting statistic on where we actually are winning, okay? Because I'm not giving you all the numbers. I don't get paid to do that, right? And of course, depending on your industry and things like that, it could definitely make a difference here, right? So what I'm going to do here on this report, I'm going to look for the part-time information because I want to share something really interesting with you guys. So give me a second. It's going to take a moment to scroll here. So if you pull up the report, it's on page 11. Now, weekly earnings of part-time wage workers versus part-time salary workers. The men in the fourth quarter of 2023 made an average of $1,113 every week, and the women made $1,826. So that, my friends, is where we are out earning the men in the part-time work. So let me tell you why this, on a grand scale, may not matter as much as you think it does. We're basically racing to be last, okay? Part-time work, as you know, is what anything under, I think it's 35 or 37 hours a week, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is, imagine if that's your only job. Your part-time job is all that you have. Typically, when men have a part-time job, it's a supplement to their full-time job that they have already. So these are things that we must consider as upwardly mobile and smart Black women. Again, sorry, Cherie, I'm taking your I'm taking your quote here, but if you are going to be upwardly mobile and a woman of a certain mental capacity, you must acknowledge what the truth is. Men are wired to work more, and that means they will probably have a full-time job and 2 other part-time jobs. A woman sometimes may just have one job and that's it. The majority of women that work in professional atmospheres are full-time workers. But like I said, you have Black men working there too, and then they also leave those day jobs to go to part-time gigs at night. So that's what I wanted to point out. And I think it's very important to know that, because the next time you're in a room having that conversation with people that are of an upper crust or upper echelon, you don't go in sounding foolish, right? That's the last thing that we need right now, because I'll be honest with you, the Black woman PR is not that great right now. I was just talking to someone about this last night, and I understand that I have an unpopular opinion, but I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't want to burst your bubble tonight, okay? That's partially why I'm not on camera. I don't need that smoke tonight. But I wanted to just give props to Diamond Dave for pointing it out and saying, hey, Black men actually still do make more than Black women. It's true, you guys. I didn't say I was happy about it, but it is true. Now, there is a way out of this, however. Start a business, right? You could start a business. If you go over to mycreditcall.com, for example, I know that there's a skill that I have that people need. You'd be surprised at how much money you can make when you are able to assist people with their financial journey. You'd be surprised at how much money you can make to just sit and listen and provide an outline to get someone where they want to go financially. The beauty of working for yourself is that you can command your own price. Now, those statistics that I just gave you, those earnings are because those people have jobs in which their employer dictates how much money they make. However, when you do decide to start a side hustle or something like that, you're able to have more agency over how much you make per year. So ladies, if there is ever going to be a chance for us to say, yes, we make more than the Black man and blah, blah, blah. If that makes you feel good, great. But the only way to really make that happen is to command more money, is to name your price for your time. Because you also have to remember that time is your most precious commodity. And in honor of International Women's Day, I will tell you this. A woman's time is exponentially more important than a man's time, in the sense that we have a lot less time to squeeze in a lot more life events and activities and solidify our financial footing. We have way less time to do that than men do. So we cannot afford to get caught up in this non-truth, this untruth that we make more than Black men. So I just had to correct you all on that. All right. And like I said, again, I'll put the report in the description here so you guys can go look it up. You want to come on and talk about it? We can, but the numbers just don't lie. Now, it doesn't mean that one group of us is better than the other, not by a long shot. But I want to reverse and go back to one of these statistics that I saw that really stood out to me. I'm not sure if you remember, but I did say that collectively, Black women and Black men together are earning more weekly than Hispanics in this country at the moment. But I'm going to tell you why that doesn't matter. If you look at lifestyle, if you look at the other statistics such as familial statistics, census information, right? Census data that says how many adults that are Hispanic live in a household, how many income earning adults live in a household versus what does your average Black household look like? That's the kicker. Because your average Hispanic household, though they may be making about $800 some odd per week collectively, as a group per person, well, there's probably 3 or 4 family members in that home pulling in $880 some odd every week versus a Black household that may just have that one part-time Black woman pulling in that money and then supporting a family, right? There's power in numbers. 5 adults that are pulling in $800 a week is definitely going to be a little more powerful economically than two people that each pull in about $1,000 per week, right? So I'm here to talk about the reality of where we are, not where we want to be, not where we think we are, not where content creator ABC has told you that you are, just so you can click and purchase their product. No, Credit Solutionist Victoria Langford is not going to tell you that. And those of you, if you're here on the live stream that have had a consultation with me, you know for a fact I do these consultations on camera because I want to talk to you and look you dead in your face and tell you the truth. Because no one around you is telling you the truth. I am a person that honors the truth, and I appreciate anyone that will tell me the truth, right? And I think that's really one of the tenets of becoming financially successful. You have to know where you are. And again, in honor of International Women's Day, let's talk about it. Like, let's say, you are an upwardly mobile professional Black woman. I mean, girl, you're making over $100,000 a year. It's just you living your best life. Number one, you're going to be taxed more than you ever would if you had a partner. And I don't mean just a partner, I mean a husband, right? You're in a whole different tax bracket making $100,000 by yourself. Is that a flex? I don't know. I don't know if it's a flex to walk around telling people that you pay a mortgage or rent and childcare and all these things by yourself. I don't know. Right? Because you make the money, but it's kind of slipping through your fingers. It's like you have a boat with a hole in it.
Epic fail.
Right? So that's the thing you got to think about. And really the cost of being a woman is expensive, right? Because you have this corporate career, which is fantastic. But we typically have to go in and code switch all the time. You're probably not going in with your natural fro. You probably are maybe wearing a wig or, girls like hair and makeup. That costs money. So though you might be making, I don't know, $1,200, $1,500 a week, and the Black man you think is making $800 or $900, guess what? He gets to keep the majority of his money because he doesn't have to spend on the things that your average single woman or average single mother has to spend, right? So there's so many factors that are not being talked about here. They're just not, So I don't want people to gaslight you. It's International Women's Day, for crying out loud. We don't want to be gaslit. We take on other people's BS. You're paying your aunt's electric bill. You're paying your mom's rent. You're taking care of parents. You're doing all kinds of stuff to where this $100,000+ a year salary that is also being taxed $30,000 or more every year. So scratch that, $70,000, right?
Epic fail.
You're spreading that so thin. You don't even have time to sit online and gloat about making more than Black men. You only have time to snatch up one of those part-time jobs. That's what you have time for because you have to supplement your income. Now, I'm talking to you like this because I will tell you guys the majority of my client base, when I do on-screen consultations at mycreditcall.com, they're men. And I can speak this way because they're ready for the truth. So I commend every client that I've had that are men. High five, you guys, because they can take the truth and say, you know what, you're right. So that's what I want to bring you today for International Women's Day. I want to bring you truth. Grace and truth, okay? So think about that the next time you walk into a room. Sprinkling your Black girl magic everywhere. Baby, shower it all over me. But you better shower it with some truth because I'm the girl in the room that knows the numbers. Diamond Dave is the guy in the room that knows the numbers. Cherie at Black Women Making Money knows the numbers. Hell, my girl Mentor Shelly knows the numbers. And anybody else that that I'm associated with here in these internet streets. Your tax preparer knows the numbers. So that's another thing. If your tax preparer, it's tax time right now, y'all. They all get online talking about how girl power. Okay. But I'm here to empower you and tell you These are the numbers. Get out there and make something happen, sis. All right. I didn't want to share these numbers to pit Black men and Black women against each other. That's not the goal here. The goal is just to get us to the truth, to see how we can adjust, recalibrate, and move forward accordingly. I've already told you that though Hispanics make less, they have banded together. So eventually they are going to become a superpower, right? And like I said, for us in this particular community, we have to recognize that the media is telling us who we're supposed to be competing against. And I have to tell you, competing against Anglo-Saxon men is going to prove futile.
Epic
you need
fail.
to start exactly where you are. Look around your office. Actually, no, I want you to look at these statistics first. And then I want you to go to work on Monday. And I want you to look at everybody in the room. I want you to look at all the white women, the Hispanic women, and the Asian women. That's who I want you to look at first. I don't want you to worry about Bob and Todd. Don't worry about him. Okay? Because that's the big boss at the end of the battle. That's the big boss at the end. You are focused right now as an upwardly mobile Black woman. You're focused on basically passing each one of those little levels. You know what I mean? Like Super Mario Brothers. You're trying to get to that little castle at the end every time. Jump on the pole, slide down. Not a stripper reference, okay? But you're looking at the elephant when you really just need to be focusing on the bites that you have to take out, okay? So if I were you, I would be trying to beat the next person in line. Not the guy at the top, all right? Sorry, I know I said that 5,000 different ways, but listen, if it hits your ears tonight, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming through and stopping by and at least hearing me out on this. It's not bad to want to succeed, but let me talk about one more thing before I go, actually, or before I jump in these comments, if anybody's actually out here. Another area of concern that I've talked about on previous live streams, and I'm talking off the cuff here, guys. Sorry, I don't have a script or anything like that. But another area that I think we get an inflated sense of confidence from is our education as Black women. Now, I have famously not gone to college, and I mean, I've witnessed people rolling their eyes at me when I'm in certain groups. I've seen it, because I know that there is some prestige that goes with having an education. Now, I am college educated. I just didn't finish. So I think there's a little bit of a difference there. But I'll tell you this. I'm not in the same financial hole that some people are that went to college. So, I mean, because I love an educated person as much as the next person, right? But I was talking to a friend about this the other day. Anytime I hear someone say, I have a master's, I have a doctorate, I have this, I have that. If I don't hear you say you got a scholarship or a grant to go to college, you know what I hear you saying? I hear you saying, girl, I got this piece of paper, but damn it, I got debt. That's what I hear you saying. Because there's no, listen, okay, because though we're the most educated, like I said at the beginning of the live stream, we're the most in debt. That is not a flex, right? Like I said, the education, it opens doors, but the other part they don't tell you is that it creates all of this baggage behind you that you got to look backwards all the time. And you still got to remember where you came from. You still got to eat ramen today, just like you ate it in college, because you didn't have money in school. That's why you got the loan. And now you don't have money when you're out of school because you're now paying your debt back for being able to go because of that student loan. I'm going to be the first to tell you, do not wait for your administration to write off that debt, because somebody has to get paid. Somebody has to pay the piper. And we're in a country that is more apt to give that money to the military. Not donate. What's the word I'm looking for, y'all? they're going to put that money and allocate that money to the military, to the armed forces. Okay? Because the safety of the country and, having that superpower energy across the world, that's more important than paying for your education or paying you back for your education. Like you're not going to get that right off, y'all. Some of y'all were lucky enough to catch it when they first gave some of that money and wrote it off. Some of y'all were lucky enough, but I'm sorry, y'all. That's just not something that I want you to bank on. What I want you to bank on is starting your business. I also have a business course, by the way. I'm going to link it in the description below, okay? Because it's basically a 30-day blueprint to becoming a business owner. I literally have videos in that training where I show you exactly how I started my business in Virginia. I click through the buttons on the Secretary of State website. You don't have an excuse. I show you exactly what to say when you go to the bank to get your bank account opened in your business name. I have a homegirl on here. I'm not going to say who she is, but okay, here's an insider. You are an LLC. How about that? I'm going to let you take that and let it marinate. You'll figure out what I'm trying to say. But you and your name, you are a business, baby. Become one, right? Become it officially. Okay? There is no reason that this wealth gap between Black men and Black women should exist. Truly. Because each one of us has the most precious commodity. And I'm talking to the women right now, just specifically. Each one of us has a very precious commodity, and that's our time. When you go into a job every day, I'm going to tell you something. You are underpaid. I don't care if you make $100 an hour. Guess what? You're underpaid. You know how I know? Because your employer is only giving you a sliver of the profit that they receive. If you work for a company that can pay you or contract you for $100,000+ every year, it's going to make you sick to your stomach to know how much this company can truly pay you based off of what they make. And I'll actually give you one extra. There's a really big reason for the wealth gap between men and women in general. Two reasons, actually, that I know of. And if anybody else, wants to come up and talk about it, we totally can. But the first thing is that men are simply going to work harder, number one. They don't have as many hangups as we do as women. And then another part of that is that men essentially know how to go into an interview and negotiate their salary regardless of if they are qualified. Women, on the other hand, because a lot of times we get too caught up in being graceful and truthful and all these things, we worry about coming on too strong. That's a problem. Why are we doing that? Who cares if you're coming on too strong? Ask for what you think you deserve, because whatever that company has budgeted to pay you in your salary, they're not telling you that. The salary they post or the salary they talk about during that interview is y'all, I was about to cuss. It's a suggestion. It's a suggestion. When you walk into that office, I know for a fact that they can honestly pay you 25 to 30% more than what they are offering you on that table. Whether the men know that or not, I don't know. But I know that they ask for more just because. Why don't women do that? And that's one of the biggest, secrets that's right out in the open that nobody wants to talk about. And it's because it's more sensational to get online and do an article and say men just make more than women just because there's a wealth gap because men just get treated better. Okay, fine. But why are we not talking about the fact that women don't negotiate? Really? And that's part of the reason I created my 30 days small business blueprint. That's the reason I created it, because I'm like, there's nothing wrong with dictating your price as a woman when it comes to being a professional. Let me clean that up because somebody will try to take a soundbite and turn that into something else. But yeah, that's why I created the small business blueprint. Click the link below in the description somewhere and go ahead and look at a sample. The course is not fancy. The course, I want to say it's about three and a half hours worth of content. And you could take it bit by bit. It's like literally little bitty snippets. You may not need everything. You just may need to know, okay, what are some business ideas? Okay, well, I have a video on my YouTube channel already that tells you guys like what to do. I did it with Cherie over at Black Women Making Money. We did a live stream where I gave you guys a full list. It had probably, I want to say, at least 40 small business ideas on a spreadsheet. I literally put that out there. That's in that course. If you just want to know, okay, well, what banks should I go to if I'm a small business owner? I'm thinking of starting a small side hustle. That's in that course too, right? Like, all right, where should I promote? How could I promote for free? That's in that small business blueprint too. It's all there. Well, what website do I go to? How do I get the paperwork with my state? Okay, I show you how to do it. I click through it and show you exactly what I did. The only thing I don't do is click enter at the very end of the step-by-step process. It took me 30 minutes to start my entire business here in Virginia. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about the wage disparities. I don't want to hear men make more than women and all this. I don't want to hear it because we, again, on International Women's Day, you're in a space as a woman where you can create the buffer there. You can create it. But sitting and waiting for society to tell you what your time is worth, honey, that's not International Women's Day. That's not the spirit of this holiday today. That's not the spirit of Black Girl Magic. The spirit of that says I'm going to go out and dictate what I make per hour. And honestly, y'all, I knocked about $50 off of my hour consultations. That ain't going to stay like that forever. I did that to be nice because I know it's tax time for y'all. And I know a lot of y'all are really, you trying to decide right now if you going to buy that new wig, if you going to pay off a portion of your student loans, or if you're going to book that trip to Jamaica. I know you are trying to decide what you're going to do with that tax check. I know you're trying to decide right now. And I'm going to tell you, purchasing the small business blueprint course or paying to talk to me for 50 minutes, you might actually get some extra time. And I also provide a recording of the consultation. And I also send you a budget spreadsheet, like an Excel spreadsheet, y'all. I'll be setting y'all up for success. I mean, I know I'm worth more than what I charge. Okay? I know it. I don't need International Women's Day to tell me that. Okay? Listen. So anyways, guys, that was really like all I wanted to talk to you about. It's like, let's get our head out of the clouds as women and let's really make something happen this year. No disrespect to the men, but today it's International Women's Day. I want to talk to the ladies today. That's what this was about. And also, like I said, to celebrate getting the 10,000 subscribers on the Credit Solutionist channel. Super duper excited about that. And I'm looking forward to bringing you guys so much more content. So that's pretty much what I had for y'all today. That's all I wanted to talk about. So happy International Women's Day. Y'all better make it a good one. Y'all. Thank you so much for coming through. I hope that I was not too rough with y'all. And, you know, I had to get it off my chest. All right. I had to get it off my chest. It came to me earlier. My girl Cherie did her live. I was inspired. I actually had my outline a little bit before that, but I mean, I hope y'all are having a good one. So I'm gonna just go through these comments real fast and then I'm gonna hop up out of here. I guess I should put the link up here. I don't know if any of y'all want to come through. You know, maybe you disagree with anything I said tonight. It is what it is. Come through. I support healthy dialogue. But I'm gonna go ahead and go through the comments here because it's been a minute. All right. Hey, necessary evil girl. I'm pretty sure you are no longer in the building because you said that like 2 hours ago. But thank you for stopping by, girlfriend. Hey, not Ami. I'm gonna say not Ami. And Farida, I said hello to you, girlfriend. I hope you are doing excellent, excellent on your side of the country. Mrs. Phoenix 91, hey there. Oh, you sent me a cash app. I didn't even get the alert. Hold on now. I got to make sure that it came through. Let me go up in my cash app. Y'all know I don't say no to money. Mucho dinero. Because really this year, y'all, it's all about getting that Skrilla. Okay, Mrs. Phoenix, I don't know if you're still here. You may want to verify where you sent it because I don't have the alert. All right. Financially basic. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by. You can't see me. Okay, definitely not going to see me tonight. I have on a bonnet. And I told you, Black Lady PR, we got to work on it. No foolishness, of course. Hit the like button, y'all. And thank you for the congratulations on the 10,000 subscribers. I was beyond excited when it came through. I actually texted Mentor Shelly as soon as it hit 10,000. So I'm excited. I mean, I don't know, guys. I gotta, get back in the swing of things and doing live streams and stuff. It's just kind of weird, but we'll make it. Hey, Cherie girl. I thought you was going to be busy tonight. I was not expecting to see you, but thank you so much for coming through. And I enjoyed your live stream from earlier today. Yes, knowing your competition is important. Oh, my Lord. I got two girls in the building. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my situation straightened up. Now I'm going to have you on. All right, hang on. We got Mentor Shelly. And we have Miss Cherie. Are you there, Cherie? Let me take your comment down
Yes,
so the
ma'am.
folks see
Hi.
ya. All right. So, ladies, y'all know I come a little rough sometimes, but what are your thoughts about what we talked about tonight? Either one of you can go first.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations on the 10K, buddy.
Thank
Oh,
you, thank you, thank you.
oh my. I'm so excited for
I was
you.
so stoked. Oh my God. It's only been 5 years, you know?
I know, right? Oh gosh. But let me come back from the oh my gosh. Anyway, I am I am always of the mindset to always remain in the reality of things versus the misnomer of the fantasy of things. There's a lot of buzzwords and like catchphrases and stats that they throw around, but when you get down to the nitty gritty of it, it's
Mhm,
not necessarily, well, who's making more? Is it, are you making what you want to make to be able to make something shake? Or are you making what you want to make to contribute to the economy that you want for your life? I don't care what nobody else is doing. Are
mhm,
you making enough to be able to sustain yourself? One, two, to be able to make the moves business wise and to make the moves investment wise you want to make. That should be our main concern, not if we're making more than white men, black men, Chinese men, Indian men, the chief. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if the personal economy is not addressed, then I'm not really caring about what's going on with anybody else. That's
mhm,
just my
mhm,
take on the situation. So, if at the end of the day, if your personal economy is not where it is, start that business. If it's not where it is, change jobs. If it's not where it needs to be, switch careers. Do
mhm.
whatever you need to do to get it to where you want to get it. Point blank. Period. That's just my take on the situation. Go
Facts,
ahead, Kurt.
facts.
Well, I do want to say that, first of all, congratulations on the 10,000.
Thank you,
Um,
girl.
Congratulations on being back in the fold with us in the crazy ass part of YouTube as well. Um,
Girl. I
and
wanted to go in, but I said I can't do that. I have to just be a little more gentle tonight.
well,
Anyhow.
you had the soundboard with the whipping sound, so I thought that was you going in. Um, I caught that. So, I will piggyback off. First of all, I don't understand what the point of International Women's Day is. I
Mhm,
so somebody said that to me, or they were like, "Happy International Women's Day," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, great," but like, I don't get it.
mhm.
But
Yeah, yeah.
going back to what Mentor Shelley said about your personal economy, it's important for all of us, but especially women, to understand that money is only one part of life, right? So, what Mentor Shelley said about, are you making the money that you want to make? I'm going to add to that. Do you have a life that you want to have? Because it doesn't matter if you could make $500,000 a year, but if you're working 90 hours a week and you're tired and you don't have a good relationship with your kids and you barely talk to your mom, you know, it doesn't matter, right? So, it's okay. I do think that, I was right that we need to know our competition. I also don't understand this need, and I think it's a social media thing, for Black women to be always so competitive with Black men and Black men to be competitive with Black women. I think that that is more destructive than it needs to be, and not just from a romantic point of view, but from any point of view. And then the final thing is, um, it's about your whole life. It's not just about the money. It is about your fulfillment. It's about your mental health, your spiritual health, your relationship with your children, your relationship, with your community. And I don't just mean the Black community, I mean community, period, etc. And if you live a fulfilled life while being, paid properly and being able to pay your bills and save and, pay off that student debt, because I have student debt. So, um,
Hmm.
that's ultimately, in my opinion, where the upwardly mobile Black woman should be. It's all of those things. So
Hmm. All
I
right.
shall yield the
Well, I
floor.
do have a question. I have a question for both of you ladies, before we close it out tonight, because I really wanted to get both of y'all's perspective here. What are your thoughts on why it is that our attention is being forced in the wrong direction so hard? But like I was saying in the beginning, they make it seem as though the person that you are supposed to be competing against is a wasp, as you call them, Cherie, right? The articles would have me believe that that's who I'm competing against, and that's where I'm supposed to focus. But is there a vested interest that, I don't know, the media or someone else has to keep us off balance the way that they do? Hopefully I asked that clearly.
Yeah, you asked that clearly. So I do think that there is merit to understanding where other groups of people are, because if you don't, you would not know that you are underpaid. Um, but I also think that in media, there's this whole thing of whatever is going to be the most sensational thing
Uh-huh.
that gets you the most clicks is what you want, right? So if the article were to say the pay gap between Black women and Asian women, it probably wouldn't get as much notoriety. Or, the difference between Black families and Asian families, it doesn't get as much. Not
True.
as many clicks, not as many views, not as much people talking about it, versus Black versus white. It could also be historical as well. Um, it just it just garners a lot more attention, a lot more, feelings and emotions and things like that. So, I think it's profit at the end of the day. That's the reason why that's pushed and that's perpetuated.
All right, gotcha. What are your thoughts on that, Shelley?
I think it's a very well-oiled machine to distraction from us working together as Black people. Um, if the Black man and the Black woman are working together to be successful, then we become true competition in the grand scheme of things. So one of the best ways to destroy your competition is to have them fighting each other, which unfortunately they've been successful at on some level. You have some of us that don't get caught up into some of those things. However, there is a varying degree of us that get caught up into who's making more and why is this, and then you hear it. There's all these arguments, manosphere wise, on the other side, who's doing this, who's doing that, and while everybody's distracted talking about other things, there are people in different demographics doing what is necessary to escalate and to elevate their their families, their communities, things of that nature. So
Mhm.
I would be remiss if I didn't say that a lot of it is very it's a well-oiled machine full of distractions, and if you're not careful, it's very easy to get caught up in it. But you have to understand that all of that is distraction. Continue to do what you need to do um to work on your own personal economy on all levels, not just on with money, but quality of life, your networks, things
Mhm.
of that nature. So it's definitely a well-oiled machine to get you off kilter, but you have to have your goals and dreams in mind and be very determined to achieve those.
Very true. And
Victoria,
yeah, go ahead.
how controversial can I be on your channel?
I mean, we're at 10,000, so hopefully that's like a good sign. You can say what you want within reason.
Okay, all right. So when we start talking about other groups of people, and because you so aptly, are targeting women today,
Mhm.
I always say on my channel, but some of your followers may not be on my channel, that we have to be very careful comparing ourselves as Black women to other groups of women. Very careful. Because when you really start, once you get a multicultural network and they trust you and they really start talking to you about what's happening in their communities, some of you will be like, oh, shoot, thank God I don't have to go through that. So I'll give you one example from the Asian community because we uplift the Asian community. Oh, the Asians, right? Well, for the longest time, if you did not study science, technology, engineering, or math in the Asian community, you were excommunicated from the family. Suppose you were a creative person. Suppose you were a graphics person, a dancer, something like that. You were just, you either had to conform or you were put out basically in the streets. So, yes, they make more money, but they've sacrificed so much. It's only recently I've seen in the last maybe 10 years where their culture is shifting a little bit more. So I just, warn people, just be cautious about your envy of these other groups, because some of the things that the women have to go through in these other groups, I don't know if we would change positions with them. I don't. So that's it. I yield the floor.
I mean, that wasn't controversial in the least. That was some truth that you were spitting there. And I think you're right that our gaze is definitely going in the wrong direction. I think it also is wise, without going too deep into it, to, yes, have a multicultural network. You should definitely have someone from every color of the rainbow in your Rolodex, right? For the older people, we're all over a certain age here. I think we all know what a Rolodex is, but you want to make sure that you have, someone from every corner of the planet, to be quite honest with you, because that's really what's going to get you where you need to go. I think it's very important for us in particular as Black people, because our community, whether we know it through personal experience experience or we're going by what we see on the internet or the statistics, right? We're a very fractured community at this time. So we're still kind of working out the blueprint on how to put everything back together. So I think in doing that, it actually could serve us to look at other communities. And if we have, an inside track to how life is with them, how they build their communities, how they maintain the cohesion, I think we could learn something from them. I hope that makes sense. I don't think that we should necessarily model ourselves after other groups 100%. I don't think we should aspire to be them. But I do think it's okay to, you know, craft something by taking bits and pieces from each group. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I'm a burn the cape person right
I
now.
know, girl, I
And
know.
yeah, and look, here's the thing is so many black women are less than a paycheck away from homelessness and destitution. Uh, so many of us don't have families that can back us up
Mhm.
economically or any other way. So, if that's the case, before you start thinking about the community, get yourself together, get your skills, your personal economy, as Mentor Shelley is saying, um, before you start trying to save the community. That's my opinion. I guess
Yeah, I
that's
think
my
it's gonna.
controversial
I
opinion of the
don't.
night.
Yeah, well, honestly, I think we have a very calm group tonight, which is fantastic. We're getting our feet wet, y'all. It's probably going to get real juicy as the lives go on through this, coming up on the second quarter. Because now I got a little nerve behind me with my 10,000 subscribers. So yeah, no, I think I'm ready to come back. Because there's so much I actually want to talk to both of you ladies about as time goes on. I want to talk about how, it's kind of, I guess, an extension of the multicultural network you were talking about. I want to talk about network in general. Who you marry matters. Who you date matters. How long you spend dating the wrong people matters. Where you choose to live matters. Whether you commute or not to work matters. Like so many little, and they're not even little. So many factors come into play for us to be upwardly mobile Black women, and really just to. I know you're not a fighter, but I still believe that the Black community can improve, and I'd like to do what I can. If I have to do it single, or if I can band with other people, that'd be great. You know, but I want to touch on those topics this year, how what seems like a small decision today can unfold into something completely life altering tomorrow that could put you in a financial hole. You know, though those things are important, and I want to talk about them, and I will be messy too, because gosh darn it, y'all, Risa Tisa beat me to the dramatic stories, you know, but
Did you
I
see that
think that those are,
she's on Good Morning America and the Tamron Hall show? I was
Yep.
like,
I mean,
girl,
listen,
what?
listen.
I mean, but here's the
I have an
crazy thing
unpopular
though.
opinion.
Oh
Well,
Lord.
well, I was thinking, our hmm, I don't want to say our mess, but I don't have a better term for it, is like
It's mess.
mainstream. It's look, I'm happy for her. I'm sure, getting a call like that, being on two shows, was
Mhm.
huge for her, but I'm just like, wow, our mess just makes it mainstream. So, uh,
It's
Yeah, and
unfortunate, but that's the reason. But I get what you're saying.
yeah, and that's why I
yeah,
said in the beginning of the live, our PR isn't that great right now. And
it's
I was
not.
actually yeah, and I was, talking with is it well, I was talking with someone that's on the screen right now. I was talking last night about that, and I said, I do think that there's a method to the madness of why her story's gotten so far and it has the reach that it does. Um, there's some optics there, and I don't know. I just have a feeling if Risa Tisa was I don't know, Christina Marie. I just don't know that the story would have gone as far as it did, and it wouldn't be getting the media coverage that it's getting right now. That's um, as that's the most I can say without saying it. You know?
Oh, we all got the hint.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Mhm.
You picking up what you're putting down, hun. Don't worry.
yeah, and Cherie, you actually covered it on one of your lives, and I was like, "Hallelujah!" Someone said it. Okay, because I do think we need to take more command over our stories for sure.
Mhm.
And really, tonight's live stream was about that because taking charge and instead of just relying on the numbers or what we think we see, what we think is happening, we're not very high wage earners in this country, but there are things that can be done to turn that around. And I just want to create an atmosphere on this channel of economic autonomy or economic agency where you know that you do really have a say in how much money you can command. Just because they tell you a job is, I don't know, $80,000 a year, they've probably budgeted for 97 in case they find somebody really capable that they just cannot do without. Right? So that's what I want, this channel to be about, as well. I serve everyone, right? But tonight was really about the women and the things that we need to do um, for ourselves, not what society is telling us that we must do. You know, yeah, y'all. I don't know how else to say it. I don't speak no other languages. Is that what they say? And I wasn't ready to be messy tonight, but y'all, I do have some messy topics that I'm going to want to discuss with you ladies. I do want to discuss Wendy Williams at some point, so just keep that in your
Ooh,
heads, y'all, because that's an
Oh
ongoing
Lord.
saga.
Oh boy.
yes,
Yeah,
I'm in.
it's an
And
ongoing saga. You
mm,
know, and anything else that really comes up as we go along. 'Cause I just
I
think it's
do.
going to be a very interesting year. Go
I,
ahead.
it's already been a very interesting year, and we're
Yes, it
only in
has.
March.
Yes.
I'll say this about the Wendy Williams and the Risa Tisa and the overall perception that is placed out there and what people seemed to be, a lack of a better term, entertained by. Um, if she had, if the story was being told from a different source, the response would have been different. But in everything that happens, whether we have control over it or not,
Mhm.
what we do have control over is how we respond to these things. While I do not, I don't like the fact that she had to, not had to, she chose to, because she did choose to express and share her situation with the entire internet in 52 episodes. Lord, that thing was long. But um, what I
I
will
told you I
say,
tapped out after 7. I tapped out after 7, and I was only half listening. Go on.
and
Sorry.
thank you, Cherie, for sharing a portion, because that's how I caught some of the other pieces of it, and then another YouTuber did a sped up version, so that's how I was able to catch the whole thing. I couldn't sit and listen to her do the whole thing, but at the end of the day, we can all learn from the experience. I'd rather, in a situation like that, learn from someone else's mistake instead of making my own. There was a lot of things in there that were cautionary tales and moments of, but I wouldn't do that. Why would she make those decisions? Didn't she see this red flag? Guys, we always have to remember hindsight's always 2020. But at the end of the
And
day,
loneliness played
uh-huh,
a lot into it as well.
of course. Of course. There's a lot of decisions
Ladies,
that were
yes, yes,
made.
yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of decisions that were made, based on religious belief, based on a lot of self work that needed to be done, and that situation kind of brought a lot of self development situations to the surface, I will definitely address that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, um, she ultimately made the most important decision, which is to remove someone of that caliber out of her life.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably, out of all the decisions she made over the year or and a half or 2 year span this person was in her life, is to make the
Mm-hmm.
decision to remove him from her life. Because at the end of the day, no one person can truly love you like you love you. And I think for her, she hopefully will do the self work to not attract someone um of that caliber again. Because if you don't do the self work,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, the same characteristics with a different face will show up again. So that's
So
my
I'm
take.
gonna
Hmm.
I'm going to piggyback off of that, but I'm going to flip it a little bit for the ladies here.
Hmm.
It's not about
Mm-hmm.
attracting, in my opinion, it's about repelling.
Ooh,
There
that's
should
true.
be an aura
Mm.
about you
That's
where
true.
a legion would never get through the outer shell that you have. Like
Boundaries are important. Hmm.
the boundaries and the way that you present yourself, that person either knows never to try you or they can't get past go.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so at least this is just how I live my life. I live my life in such a way where I don't I repel foolishness, right? I repel certain
Mm-hmm.
types of people. And I think that as women, this goes back to what I was talking about earlier this evening about being nice and how being nice costs us. It costs us a
Mm-hmm.
lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of opportunity, um, versus us having the mindset of, I'm going to repel what I don't want.
Mm-hmm.
So
Makes sense.
it's, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, just the opposite of what you were saying.
Hmm.
It totally is. And it's an energetic thing, like you said. So thank you for mentioning that, Cherie. I think a lot of us don't understand that that's what it is. Just like your energy can repel, like you said, the wrong kind of person. If you do have the wrong energy, it will attract the wrong person. Um, and that is something that we really do. Yeah, we got to dive into that this year for sure. I know that's a big part of, what's happening with our girl, Risa Tisa. We also got to recognize that that is an anomaly and that will not happen to every one of us if we go down that road and then tell a story on TikTok. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It boggles my mind how this story got so far, and it's insane. It's like you if I'm going to be that silly, I want to do it in private, if that makes sense.
That's you though.
I would rather not,
Yeah.
And
only because
Which,
I think only because I think there's a lot at stake. And unless, and again, that's one person that was able to get it done. And I think, to be quite honest with you, in the spirit of International Women's Day, I want that girl to go as far as she possibly can. I want her to go to the moon with this story, because now that it's out there, she might as well do what she can to, you know,
capitalize on it.
yeah, she's got to capitalize on it. She's also got to understand the angle that that is making this what it is. She's got to
Oh,
understand that and be at peace with it, because
oh
that's
boy.
the only thing that's going to help her keep it going. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
She's got to
yeah.
be real about why it's blowing up, and she's got to accept it. So I say the girl's got to, she's got to, oh man, she's got to milk this thing for all it's worth right now. Because
Well,
I'm
she
just
is. I
I'm
mean, she's getting a
yeah.
trip to some sort of way to Europe, and she's been on NBC, two shows, not just one.
And Good
So
Morning America, I
yeah,
think too.
Good
And
Morning America and the Tamron Hall show. At least
I
that's what I
wouldn't be
saw.
shocked. She's gonna go to Europe and she's gonna divest. That's what's gonna happen. So,
Well, she would
you
do
know.
better if she did. I would say that. But
Ooh, girl, now that's a
yeah,
controversial topic. Wait a minute now.
well, it's controversial, but we since we want to go through numbers. So,
Mm.
but anyway,
Man. Yeah,
um,
so
yeah,
okay, Cherie, so I want to ask
uh,
you for like a later live stream that we're going to
uh-huh,
have down the road. Have you
okay.
been watching the Wendy Williams saga, like the Lifetime special?
So I have not watched the Lifetime special, but I have heard commentary on YouTube about it. So I'm
Yeah.
aware overall what's happening.
Okay.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, because I definitely I we got to have a conversation about it. I mean, if I don't know if it's something you could handle. It's going a lot faster than the Risa Tisa story. I'll say it moves quicker than that. But it's like it really is a very important case study that we need to look at to show that you can be on top and literally fall so hard so fast because you hooked up with the wrong person. You allow too
Yeah,
many people to hitch a ride. It's that's dangerous. And I
that
think
substance
because
abuse is real. That
I,
substance abuse
oh man,
really
it's and
I mean
that's a
it
big
wrecked
part
her.
of it. Big
Yeah,
part of the special.
yeah.
It's crazy. It's
Um,
it's it's devastating. So just
But
keep
yeah, I
that in
would
mind,
talk about it.
Cherie and mentor Shelly for sure. We got to do it.
Yeah, I think that
yeah.
there are a lot of
Yeah.
financial lessons within Wendy's story. And I
Hmm.
will
Yeah.
admit, just from a personal point of view, when the
Mhm.
whole Diddy thing exploded, that was
Mhm.
the one person I actually wanted to hear from. And I was so sorry that she was no longer on the air because she was saying it back in the day. She was
Yep.
talking about these things that were happening.
Yep.
Hmm.
And, she was vindicated and she couldn't even gloat in her purple chair. So,
I know.
I
I
shout
know,
out to
poor
Wendy
thing,
Williams.
Because
man.
she did refer
Whew.
to it, but she referred to it in a way where it wasn't as obvious if you weren't paying attention. Because
Okay.
she mentioned something about Cassie. I'm glad she moved on. I remember them showing clips of her mentioning the fact that she moved on. She's in a much better place. She addressed it, but because of what Diddy, the type of power he was wielding at the time, she wasn't able to come out. Of course, depending based on where you're sitting and who you have to answer to, and you're on a national syndicated show. Of course, you can only go so far. But the unfortunate thing about Wendy, it's not only just substance abuse; other types of abuse was happening that that probably led more to the substance abuse or a mix of the two. And if you're yes, you could be on top of the world as far as monetary and your career could be going well, but if you don't have that emotional and mental support that keeps you grounded, eventually that becomes part of your downfall, and that's part of the story that they may touch on. I don't know. I haven't watched any of the episodes yet. I want to see it, but I don't want to see it because I already feel sad based on the little I've heard, from different
Mhm.
YouTubers and things of that nature. But it is a lesson and it is definitely a case study for us to look at. Substance abuse plays a huge factor, but emotional and mental abuse plays a factor as well. And sometimes, and also the whole thing about how you said, Cherie, you lead your life in such a way where your boundaries and your level of not putting up with certain types of things repel certain types of people from you. And if I don't know if you guys watched the first Wendy Williams miniseries that was out. Wendy, from what I understand, based on her family history, didn't have a lot of personal boundaries in the first place. So that was maybe part of why she ended up with a guy like Kelvin, so to speak.
Yeah.
So,
This is true. It's something
yeah.
we all got to pay attention to.
Yeah.
So y'all heard it on the air, y'all. They said they're gonna come to the channel. They're coming back because
We're
I
going,
have to do at
yeah.
least one messy video a week. Just one messy video a week. The rest we gotta we gotta get serious about finance. Because there's actually quite a bit happening in the credit world right now. I know
Mhm.
bank fees, there's about to be a cap on those, and that's big news for a whole lot of people. It's going to be really awesome. They might be moving down to about $8 if you get overdraft and stuff like that. So I think
The
that
banks will make their money some other way. So
Oh,
absolutely.
trust me, they're going to
So
get their money. They just
mhm.
figure out
They're
another way to
coming for
get it.
something else. Trust.
yeah,
Mhm.
there's so many things coming down down the pike right now, and I want to definitely share it with people. And now is the time. There's something in the air for 2024, and I think it's going to be fantastic. And I just want for us to be of a mindset that we're going to maybe let go of the ego a little bit and just put the pedal to the metal and get to the things that we want, unapologetically, if you will. That's the energy I'm on this year. How about you, ladies? Will tell us what you on this year real quick, and then we're gonna wrap it up because your girl has to go to bed.
Um, yeah, I'm unapologetically. Listen, if you're not on the ride with me or you're not on the path with me, I'm kicking you out the way. I'm not even saying excuse me.
Oh
Sorry.
man. All
No,
right. Okay. All
that's what
right.
I'm
All right. Well,
2024.
What's your energy this year, Cherie? What's your energy? What's the theme for this year?
hyper focused on, I'm in year 2 of being a mortgage loan officer. And my goal is to get through my first 100 loans. Now, that's not going to happen all this year, but
Mhm.
Hmm.
like I've just been working very hard on that. And I had told you ladies that I was thinking about doing something else this year, and I said no. I need to hyper focus. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I come to YouTube on my channel, be a little messy. I can be messy on your channel.
Of course.
Mentor Shelley, we go to her channel. We gotta be right. So
We got to
we can't.
button up a little bit.
She doesn't have a messy channel, but I could come here to Victoria's channel, be messy, and but that's like my little comic relief over here. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. And we'll always, it's always going to be something that's helpful to the crowd. Like I said, I focus on everybody, not just women, but today was a special day. And this year, honestly speaking, I really am, in my big age, I feel like I'm coming into my womanhood now, where it's like, oh, I'm learning what I will and will not take. I'm learning what I do and do not want. I'm learning what direction we're really going in, and we're getting hyper focused this year. You
Yeah.
never know when it's going to happen, but when it does, my God, it's like a fire has been lit. So that's the energy that I'm on
Mhm.
this year. I will have my goals. It's not a conference call. My goals are my goals. They were dropped into my little head and my heart. I'm not going to worry about what anybody else thinks I can and can't have. That's the energy we're on tonight. So that's why we did this, why I wanted to talk about the wage gap, why it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what you are going to be doing to propel yourself forward. So a lot of stuff coming down the pike, you guys. And I may be doing a live event, so you guys stay tuned for that. We'll be dropping that information a little bit later, you know
Mhm. Mhm.
once some things come together. Okay, so
All
yeah,
right.
I'm gonna be in the internet streets and in the real life streets, y'all, so get ready, it's coming. Good stuff. All right, ladies, any closing remarks before we get off here? Thanks so much for coming up, by the
just
way, I appreciate it.
yeah,
Problem.
yeah, just to say congrats again on the 10,000, and super proud of
Thank you.
you, and looking forward to the next 10,000 on this channel, which you're going to be able uh, to pull out of you know, out of the ethos with regards to that. So
I sure hope so. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for coming through. Guys, check out Cherie over at Black Women Making Money on YouTube. Also, join her email list as well. You will not be disappointed. It's a really great platform. Mentor Shelly, my girl. You can go ahead and find Mentor Shelly at Mentor Shelly here on YouTube. And then, Mentor Shelly, what is your website? Did
It's
you want to share that before you go?
It is mentorshelly.com. You can go to mentorshelly.com/contact. You can leave me a voicemail or email message if you're looking to at least get your career, chops in gear. You can go ahead and grab my free guide. It is at mentorshelly.com/DCG. That's Dream Career Guide. And of course,
Sounds good. Sorry, Cherie. Oh, go ahead.
Mhm.
You're good.
Closing remarks. I am geeked for you and your 10,000 subscribers.
Thank
Another 10,
you.
10,000, 10K coming before you know it. 2024 is the year of truth and the year of reckoning. I am so proud of you. Keep pushing forward.
I will. I will. Cherie, I'm sorry, girl. Did you have a website? And I promise we going, y'all.
The website is bwmakingmoney.com, bwmakingmoney.com, and that's where you sign up for our newsletter content that is not on YouTube. So for all of my upwardly mobile black women, that's where you want to be.
Oh my lord. Okay, y'all. I thought we were about to leave, but all right. If either of you have to pop off, it's all good. But we have an honorary special guest, y'all. I gotta let my girl on. Y'all gotta say hello to
Oh,
Miss
hey,
Athena.
Athena. Hey.
Athena, girl. Now you know you are late. We were about to log off like literally 2 seconds
Listen, you
ago.
were talking about you felt like you were stepping in your womanhood. So I was like, let me just say hi.
Oh my gosh. And yes, girl, you'll have to come on onto a live stream later on sometime this year too, because we're talking about, how I do help everybody, men and women, but this year in particular, I think that I am going to put a separate focus on the women as well. Just, with certain things that have just been going down and just seeing where we all are headed as women, single women, partnered women, married women, whatever. It doesn't matter. The game, like, it never stops. The train never stops. You always have to still be thinking about your next move and what is going to be the most economically viable for your future as a woman. So I want to delve into that this year too. So do I have your word, Athena, that
Of
you will come to
course.
the
That's
channel?
of course. That's all that's what I've been about for a while now, and especially with I think everything all works together. I've
Hmm.
I've done a few workshops trying to get women to see, especially from the financial aspect of things, that there's no at every point and stage in your life, whether you're single, married, divorced, widowed, that especially financially, you need to be aware and understanding a lot of the barriers that we have with that is usually because we're waiting. And it's usually because we're waiting for a man or somebody else to do it
Hmm.
or to feel confident in ourselves enough to do it, whatever that reason is.
Hmm.
And this whole waiting thing I've just realized is just like an illusion if you have the resources or the time or the energy or whatever it is, whether it's financial or not, to
Hmm.
go for it. The waiting is usually just like a fear response is what I'm learning with all these things. So but
Yeah.
yeah, girl, whenever you want to do a live, I'm good for a good live.
Girl, we looking like, where were you an hour ago? Ma'am, we
Listen,
could have,
an hour
girl.
ago, what was I doing? I was watching Ready to Love, one of my
Oh
old
boy.
guilty vices. That little black dating show I own. I always get frustrated at because the women always have these nice professional careers in business and the guys be on the struggle bus. But anyway, I torture myself and watch that. And
Oh
then
man,
You
Kara,
torture
look.
yourself to watch that, or
I
you just
get
binge?
I don't know why. Maybe because I took a break from dating, but it's always like why. Oh, between that and last weekend, I watched like Mea Culpa on Netflix. I was like,
Oh,
why
everybody
Tyler?
said that was so bad.
I was just like, first of all, it was definitely not an Oscar-worthy performance, but I was like, Tyler cannot write a movie without a black woman struggling. It's like it's impossible. I was like, why? Why is this like struggle of trope in every
I,
one of his movies?
okay. Well, see, okay, guys, that was that what she's saying was part of my unpopular opinion about Risa Tisa. That's part of why I'm like, did it have to be that story?
Mm-hmm.
Did it have to be? I kind of like the story of the pink sauce lady a little more. That was more inspiring
Oh, and
than
Risa Tisa.
Didn't she lose it all?
I don't know, girl, but I saw some pink sauce in
I thought
Walmart
she
like 2 days
had.
ago. I don't
Oh, you
know.
did? Oh, so maybe she's back because I thought that she had lost it all. But
Mm-mm. She's still in
um,
business.
But
Yeah.
to be honest with you, with Risa Tisa, there's probably like she's not the only one that has gone through that.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely, like that. I think her story is more common than what's being portrayed. I just think she's like the first person to put in like a 50-part series, so that's what's making it like huge. But
Mm,
she is not. Listen, she is not the only one. I remember I went to a conference.
yep.
I went to a conference in Atlanta last
Oh
year,
man.
and one of the ladies at the welcome party, she was just saying how she's recently divorced because she's like one of those married single women. And I just felt like, one, that's a lot to say to someone who's a stranger to you. Just met at this, but two, I was actually amazed. I was actually glad she said it because I just feel like a lot of these women are experiencing things in these relationships and they're hiding the shit out of them. Like
Mhm.
a lot of us falling down bad in these situations to like prop up this image that your
Mhm.
relationship is doing what it's not supposed to.
Yeah, and the story is very common. It's just like I said, for me, it's just mm, oh, did it have to be her and did it have to be that story
Yes.
for her?
Yes,
The
it
only
had to
other
be because they would not have believed it or offered the sympathy otherwise. And you know this. You know
sheesh.
it
All
had
right.
to.
Okay. Girl,
Listen.
we were supposed to be messy tonight, so I have to save the messy for another night. But yes, Athena, you are on spot
Oh,
on with what
am
you're
I
saying.
coming? So the live that we're doing, is that supposed to be a messy live? Is that what?
You know, honestly, I think between the four of us, it gets pretty muddy, and I think that's exactly what I need. So yeah, I think we're gonna have an extravaganza. Well,
is
okay, I
it
want you
is
all to
it
come
muddy?
by.
Is it muddy or is it the truth?
It's muddy because it is the truth. It's like
It
that's where all
is
the
the
sediment
truth.
goes, you know?
Yes.
Listen, we
So
gotta
why
bird
are we gonna
box
lie?
these people and open their goddamn eyes and let them look at us.
Like
Exactly.
I
Why
said,
are
I
we?
just kind of wished it was somebody else because I'm like, okay, all right, I guess I could just say I'll say it because we don't have too many people watching anymore. But
Doesn't matter. The truth is the truth is the truth. That's the only thing we can stand on.
Yes,
And
it is.
and
yeah,
and and the unfortunate part
I
about it
just
is that whole situation would not have gone as far as it did, as you said, Athena, if it wasn't coming from the person it came from, and
Okay.
and
I
um
yeah.
and the fact that and how it was communicated. At the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day, we can all learn from that situation, and it's far more common than we'd like to ever admit. Let's be clear. However, it is what it is. And we can learn and grow from everybody's experience. I'd much rather learn from her experience than ever having to go through anything like that. But
Listen. Listen.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
yeah.
I just wanted to tell you. I guess I'll leave you with this.
Hmm.
as far as why I'm like, oh God, I want this girl to make so much money. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, but why this? Because you know how when you're in the club and they play back that up,
Mm-hmm.
you know how everybody in the room kind of it's like a bat signal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's like, oh, I love that song, I love that song, I love that song.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's what this is. With her story being out there, it's like a dog whistle, actually, to every Black woman that's been through it. And everybody's like, me too, me too, me too. I'm like, y'all, other groups of women they don't raise their hand when they see the story. They just know amongst themselves.
Yeah, they
Like,
take their L's in silence.
yeah.
Basically,
So I'm
is what
like,
you're saying.
y'all,
Versus
don't
we put
let
our L's out in front
don't,
straight.
so don't let
But
recency
do
have
they?
that
Hold
back that
on, hold
thing up
on.
effect on us. It's like a
I don't.
dog whistle.
I don't know if they do. I don't know if they
No,
do.
I don't think they
I'm gonna
do all
push
the time
back.
either. That's
So
totally fair.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
I don't.
So hold on.
Nobody. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, hold on for a second. The
Okay.
reason I say it's not true is because of TikTok, because we see
Mhm.
the countless numbers of women, all ages, all races, saying the
Mhm.
same thing. And I
Yep.
do think the one great thing about TikTok, the only great thing about TikTok, is it's breaking down the walls of they have it better than we do. I
Hmm.
mean, the
True.
stories like I know like multicultural people who tell me stuff, so like I'm
Yeah.
not fooled. But so many of us as Black women have been fooled into thinking this woman is better, that woman is better because,
Hmm.
and you start peeling, TikToks, and all of a sudden it's not the truth.
I
So
got
Mhm.
you.
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I hope everybody's wise enough to come to that same conclusion that you did, but we both know people don't want to think that hard and long. They
Listen,
That's
just,
true.
people barely got two brain cells to rub together to make a
yeah,
thought come true,
yeah.
honey. Listen.
That's that's what I'm saying. So whoever's pushing this, I hope she has a manager. I hope she has an
Listen,
agent. I just hope she
Tyler,
has
I feel
everything.
like this is like the makings of a next Tyler Perry movie. It got struggle love all over it. Like,
To me, honestly, if she were smart, so let's talk business now. If she was smart,
Hmm.
as soon as she saw it taking off, she should have
Yeah.
trademarked the name as a TV show. She could have
Yes.
done a whole bunch
Mm,
of documentaries, had all sorts
right.
of women, kind of like, those it's not We TV, but it's like Wives
Tubi.
with Knives and what'd you say?
Tubi.
Well, like Tubi, she could put it on Tubi, but I was thinking like those documentaries where they reenact the scenes,
Oh.
um, like Snap,
I got
like
you.
Snap
Mhm.
Yeah,
or
like a true
Wives with
crime
Knives,
kind of
where they,
thing.
yeah, where
or
they,
ID
except
channel.
yeah,
Yeah.
like those
Yeah.
types of reenactment
She could be on
documentaries.
Lifetime too now.
She could be on Lifetime. Exactly. I don't think that she moved fast enough though to actually like reserve that.
Yeah.
But that would have been the real way to go. And then have women submit their stories and the craziest stories. Like you said, she could have gotten a deal with Tubi or whomever to make these reenactment documentaries. Strung it along for years.
Or how about
Yeah.
turn it into like a series where it's not just her stories, it's all these different women who the fuck that I marry and how all their marriages end up
Girl.
crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was suggesting is that
Yes, I like
she
this
do it with
read.
everybody else's story as well.
You know
Yes.
what? That is such a bang up idea. And everybody that clicked off the live literally just missed a freaking $1 million idea. That was
No,
no,
that's a
that I
billion
that's
dollar idea. That's a
yes. And
legendary
Listen,
when you
idea.
said it,
let me see if I can find a story that I can
that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, girl, Athena, you gonna have to like zoom all the or like,
listen.
Huh.
Let me go.
fast forward the live to the very this little portion right here. This had that nugget that
Listen.
everybody was probably waiting for.
Well,
This was good.
ladies. Well, ladies, I'll take this opportunity to say there is another YouTube channel where I'll be sharing some not her type of story, my own story.
What?
What?
Girl, make
What?
sure you
Oh
hit
Okay,
my
you guys,
goodness.
you guys. Can I throw an idea out there? Because we're brainstorming now. Okay, or I am. I don't know. I just got a little burst of energy right now. Okay, you guys have to come back for the topic of should you profit from your pain?
what? Yes.
All
The
right.
answer is yes, you should.
Y'all
Okay.
better not cover that on your channel yet. You have to come here because
Okay.
we
No, I
have to
won't
really
cover it on my channel.
we're gonna get messy on that one. We're gonna get messy. Y'all all right, y'all said you wanted messy. That oh yeah, okay. We're gonna talk
Listen,
about some
Okay.
people in the media, everything. We gonna go
yeah,
in.
Yeah.
it's more like
Yeah.
who isn't profiting from their pain at this point.
Oh
Yep.
man, that's gonna be a good one. All right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got
All right.
that. I got that. Sorry, y'all. Just had to interject.
It's
Had a
Mm-hmm.
moment of
Yeah.
inspiration. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm looking
Anyway,
forward to that
ladies.
channel. That topic
Okay,
session.
so I am definitely going to cut out now.
Okay.
I've been here longer than I even expected to, but I am going to go pass out. But Athena, since you did come up, I want to give you the chance because I am going to keep this live stream up. Did you want to tell anyone that sees it now or the replay anything about your business and what you do before we cut out?
I would love to. So, if any of you ladies are watching, my name is Athena. I am the founder of We Wealth Women, which is a wealth learning community for women. I'm a CPA and wealth strategist, and I discuss not only lifestyle things, but how women can create and build wealth and own their own wealth narrative. So we're going to be discussing, I have a lot of things on my channel already, but we're going to be discussing investments, but also wealth strategy at different aspects of your life. So single, married, divorce. I was going to do a whole breakdown of Risa Tisa and like how to financially protect yourself. Maybe we can do I don't even know about do that another time as a case study, but yes, that is what my goal is to help women to financially and strategically place themselves in positions to win and to it seems to be like what we was discussing earlier, a lot of barriers to that, whether it's they feel like finances are too overwhelming or they're hoping that their man is financially savvy or has some just a lot of different nonsense that I try to help women overcome. But to piggyback off of
I feel
what
you, girl.
Victoria was saying, that I was actually advised instead of to just like, I mean, we can discuss this about profiting off your pain or profiting off what, however, selling yourself. I was advised instead of giving like the financial information and maybe Sheree and Shelly, since you have channels, maybe you can and your channels are bigger than mine, maybe you can give me some advice. Someone told me that I should just put lifestyle content of me just enjoying my life versus just giving out the information, and I'll grow my followers faster that way.
Is that the following that you want, though? So I will give you like my philosophy. My
Hang on,
philosophy is
Cherie.
yes,
Can you hear us?
yeah.
You're a little muffled. Is anybody else hearing that?
Yeah, but she sounds muffled.
Yeah. You sound. Yeah. You sound
Yeah.
muffled, Mama.
Okay, is that better?
Mm-mm.
No.
No. Okay, I'll go out and come back in.
Okay. Yeah. The people you want on your channel are people that are going to not only listen to the advice that you give, but also use it. And you can put case studies in place or you can showcase things, but that's not ultimately the goal of your channel. So
Right.
you want your channel to be more of a resource. So showing what you do all the time is not resourceful. It's just there's that would be more proof to the page, and you do that maybe 10% of the time if you're going to do anything like that. And then what you also do, if you're going to show a certain thing, use it as a teaching opportunity.
Okay.
Something along those lines. But go ahead, Sheree.
Okay, is that better?
Definitely better. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, all right. I can't go through the StreamYard app. Sorry. Okay. So I
Okay.
don't know what Mr. Shelley said, but I probably agree with it all. Um, so always start from the end. Like, what do you want? What kind of audience do you want? And understand that growing your audience does not mean that there's going to be people who purchase from you. So if you've ever seen these people who grow big audiences and they can't monetize it, it's because they put
Mhm.
content out for people who are not buyers. So I don't know what the purpose of your channel is, but you kind of want to start from there. You want to start from, like, what kind of community do you really want to cultivate? Also understand with lifestyle content is people tend to be haters as well, you know? So you really just going to have to deal with as many people lifting you up, like half the people doing that, and then the other half criticizing, various aspects of your life and your lifestyle. So, you know, just being prepared for that based on what I've seen from other lifestyle content creators, you know.
Yeah.
So those would be the two things that I would suggest to you. Neither one is right or wrong. It's just a matter of what are you ultimately trying to achieve.
Mhm. Yeah.
Makes sense.
I
That is
appreciate
for
the
sure.
advice. I appreciate the advice.
And get on YouTube and start putting out content, girlfriend.
I have a YouTube channel that I put content out already.
For your wealth stuff, your
Yep. Yep.
girl, wait a minute. Hold on. Well, I gotta join. Wait a second.
Yeah, you
How did I
should
not
you
know
should
this?
promote it here. You should
Listen,
promote it
Yeah,
here.
what's your channel?
it's at We Wealth Woman. So if you see where my name is, if you just put the
Okay.
at symbol and you just put We Wealth Woman all in one, you'll find a channel on
Girl.
YouTube.
Okay.
I need
So
to put.
tell us.
I'm updating my content because I've been sick.
Hmm.
I've been sick for the past kind of like month. Luckily, I like pre-recorded and scheduled that content out, but I need to
Mm-hmm.
like record new content. So
There you are. Yes. All right, everybody. So yeah, find that channel and be sure to subscribe so
yeah.
Athena can start putting videos out and not do like I do
Oh,
a
you
video and disappear for 9 months.
subscribed. You subscribed.
Yeah,
Okay.
girl.
All
But
right. I won't hold you ladies up anymore tonight. It was lovely talking with you all.
yes, it's so
And
good to see everyone. Thank you for supporting you guys for sure.
of
Thanks
course.
for having us, Victoria.
Yes, and we're gonna get messy the next time. It's gonna be so fantastic. I cannot
We
wait.
was
Oh
we
my
were
god.
messy tonight. Let's be clear.
We were, but
Just a little.
when we can come, if I can come prepared to be
Mhm.
messy, it's going to be even better,
Oh
Yeah.
especially when we talk
For
about
Lord,
Wendy
it's
sure.
gonna
Williams.
be
Oh yeah.
messy like a Tyler Perry movie. That's how we're gonna be messy.
There you go.
We are for sure. We are for sure,
Yeah.
you guys. It's gonna be fantastic. All right,
Uh,
ladies. Well,
Thank
thanks
you,
again for coming
everybody.
through. And yeah, we're gonna make some waves this year. So I'm very, very glad that I'm back here on YouTube. We're gonna make some magic. It's gonna be
well,
great.
welcome back to the YouTube streets,
Thank you,
ma'am.
girlfriend.
All right.
All
Yes.
right. And I'm here to stay.
And
All right,
happy
ladies.
10K, by the way. I don't know if I said that. Happy 10K.
Girl, thank you. That's the only reason I'm here tonight. My goodness. Like now there's something super like totally worth coming back for. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So yeah. All right, ladies. So have a fantastic weekend. Make lots of money if you're gonna work. And yeah, I'll see you ladies next time.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Good
All
night.
right, guys. Everybody have a great night. Credit Solutionist
You.
out.
All right.